Today, let's learn about this triangular hollow bag. On its front, we have crocheted a triangular sign. The back is completely hollowed out. It's also very convenient to fold and carry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 lines. We've hooked it. When it's hooked, let's go on. What happens after we hook it up? We can put this. The added thread was cut. And then, we'll tell us. The next grid section. Let's set up 6 braids first. Then turn the fabric over. Flip. Let's take 1, 2, 3, 4 first. First, let's take the first 4, hook the hollowed out grid. What happens when the first 4 squares are hooked? We put this. The place where the short needle is hooked in a circle is also hooked into a grid. Then it's on his first short needle. That's the needle. Above. Crochet a long needle. Then 2 braid pins. Skip 2 stitches under the winding without hooking. In the third hole, buy a long needle. Two braid pins. Skip 2 stitches in winding, and do not hook on the third hole. Crochet a long needle. 2 braid pins. Skip 2 stitches, and don't hook on the third hole. Cliff. Tell me a long needle. 2 braid pins. Then we use this method to line up the part of this short needle to hook and knit it. We can see that we hook to the end. It's exactly the one with 3 squares left. Well, so the number of stitches for this short needle, we must count. It's 46 stitches after the hook. Skip 2 stitches and stand up with the last one. Hook a long needle. So this short needle part, we've all, hooked up this grid. It's hooked. Then, we are on this grid. Part. Continue to tick the grid. Well, we have this. The first grid above the triangle. We're good enough. Then we'll buy it. Well, we'll buy the grid in the same way. This is the triangular part of the mesh. We need to check it out. The 5-line grid continues to tick out the 5-line grid. Now the first line has been checked. Then we continue to weave 4 lines of online classes. Here are 6 braided pins. 4. 6. Then we'll keep telling. Just keep buying the grid. Five rows of hollows. 5 rows of hollows. What about after we check them out? Let's give us this, woven piece. The hole surrounds its 4 edges. As a whole. Wrap one side can look like this. Come on. Then come back here and mark this side. Well, this is the back film. This is what I've wrapped up. This is the back film. The back film is, we're hook 1 or 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 22, 12, 23, 24. To tick the 24 lines is to just tick the hollow out. We don't need to tick the triangle in the back film. Then this is how I wrap the side. How do we wrap the front and back pieces? As like as 2 peas. Well, next, let's start wrapping. Then we start wrapping. Let's crochet a standing needle first. Then flip the piece of paper to its top. Head on. Share it on the front. Then we were in the first hole. That is, in the first bead. Inside the mobilization, crochet a short needle. Then, on this hollowed out hole, on this horizontal line, we told 2. Short needle. Then on this post, by a short. Hollowed out this hole. Hook 2 short needles. Then in the column, crochet a short needle. Hook out 2 short needles in the hollow. Then we follow this method, Finish reporting the row above this. The horizontal row is over. Well, hook it to the end, Finally, here, we are at the end. Above this hole. Control 2. Short needle. And then here at the corner. 1 or 2. 3. 4th truth. In the 4th stitch, 2 holes are woven from the same hole. Warfare. Then turn to its side. Go to its side. On its side 2. There are 2 on this hollow out. Warfare. And then on this post. Crochet a short needle. Hollowed out inside. Purchase 2 short needles. Above the column. Purchase a short needle. Let's follow this method. Finish another circle. All the corners are in accordance with this method to tick. Do it this way. Then we went all the way here, where the side meets this side. The last group. Then we're in the last one. Go into the hole and tell 2. The short needle then comes to the first needle. The short needle has been hooked here in the first needle. We have also penetrated into the East Asian second chain. Buy another short needle. Because each corner needs 2 stitches. Then hook a drawing needle. Hook a standing needle. Then we can cut scion. Next we start to hook up its side panels. As for the side panel, we use the locking needle method. First, tie a loose knot on your finger. Crochet penetration. Braid hook needle eye. 2 or 3. 4. 5 or 6. 7. Tell me 7 braid pins. Then return to the penultimate needle. This is the first stitch. This is the second needle. Return to the penultimate stitch to crochet a short stitch. A short needle. Then we hook up the remaining needles. A total of 6 short needles are woven. After 6 short needles are hooked, let's hook a standing pin. Turn the fabric over to its back. Continue to crochet 6 short needles. Then, the second loop is finished. Then we hooked out a standing needle. The same way, this deflects back and forth. Flip the hook back and forth. Crochet needle. Our side panels, keep going back and forth like this. Turn over the crochet to the appropriate length. We'd better be crochet than our bags. You can take a look at the fabric on our side. Well, after the hook is woven, it's such a long one. Then what about the length of our crochet? It's the side of our bag, 3 sides, this way. 1, 2 sides, 1 negative. Then there's a side. Then the length is the same. The number of stitches, I have 3 sides. A total of 124 stitches. There are 124 stitches on the 3 sides. Let's hook out 124 pieces. All right. And, what about when we sew the sides? It's stitch by stitch. Well, that's when we sew. It said here. Well, good. It's good to say here. Let me show you the other side. That's it. Well, the side in this. How does our subject sew? Take this of ours. The side panel in the main body of our main rear panel. Then from our main body of the back film. First stitch. The first pin on the side goes through it. Then wear it to us. Then put it on us. First pin of side panel. Purchase a cloud needle. Then we came. Next hole. Then the other side is the next mobilization. The next one is the same. It's our side. The side is like this. It's him. A big protrusion is 2 rows. 2 stitches can be drawn here in 2 rows. 1 2 1 2. In these little power on the outside. A large protrusion is 2 rows. We can pick out 2 stitches in every 2 rows. That is, 1 or 2. Next, our crochet. Wear gold. In the second mobilization in the later film. Then put it in. Just the second mobilization of the side piece. The second thing is this one. Then buy a drawing needle after you go. They're all Indian and Pakistani needles. Then the following. It's cool. and a pull-out needle. Turn in front. Then from the next hole in the back. Inform. Take this first. After that, the side is like this. Then we will tell you according to this method. Then put our side bottom. And the other side of us all the way here. All the way here. Then follow this method to wrap the edges all the time. Because our number of stitches is corresponding. The number of stitches is the same. So after these 3 edges are sewn, it's just right. If we go on to the last stitch, bring the last stitch. What happens when you hook it up? We'll hook up the side part. Let's stretch ourselves like this. Make it more. Be flat. What happens when it's hooked? Let's point to the top. We're going to give it this opening. So keep a circle of edges. Then we'll buy it from this position. Start purchase. Let's start here. This is equal to 2. Kiangu is Yamba town. Then hook out a standing needle. This goes through the hole in front of him. Hook the short needle. Earthquake. Mark it with a marking buckle. Then, we will mobilize at every stage. Take a short needle in the when everyone knows the edge. Let's hook to the edge. And then what happens after this check? We were right there. The other one is all over it. But then the 2 pieces are connected. Then we're on this assessment. Let's wrap it. What about after the crocheting here? We wear it. Other side. The first needle on the other side. That's it. The thread ends are pressed down. Let's go crocheting. Then this needle must be crocheted a little tighter. Then we'll continue to buy short-term products. After the hook is finished, we in the first needle knit a unite stitch with the first stitch. Then take a starting point. Cash. After the purchase, we put this letter, the letter in the material bag. That's it. The distributed pendulum is here. Then we'll find the right position and sew the green. The top of the is empty, and a large protrusion is 2 lines. The small protrusion is a line. 1 line, 2 lines. 3 lines are 3 empty lines. Then start sealing the letter. There are about 2 stitches left on this side. We'll keep the same side. 2 stitches are from the next. This hollowed out edge. About 2 stitches. We'll use the needles we usually sew clothes with. The black thread at home is okay. Single strand suture. A large protrusion is a large protrusion in 2 rows. Then again, the second bulge goes up to show. Then we are from. The letter center of this P extends downward. It's almost this position. It's this position. Let's show this M. That's ours. Where's the bag belt? I'll come like this, after I find the position. Just sew it. Then use the back to show you how to sew. First of all, let's use this mark button to determine this approximate location. Then what happens when it's confirmed? We just, use the mark in our material bag. Mark him like this. Then we put it on his bag belt. The remaining line. Put on a needle. Come in and do this. Do it this way. Where's the first stitch? Where's the first stitch? You can sew more stitches. The rest is really not easy. Just one stitch. Then one needle to one needle to one needle. Go and sew like this. That's it. Well, that's it.